I can write a flawless training plan, although without consistency, you have nothing. It can be absolutely a perfect game plan to create change in your specific goals. One important thing that doesn't get calculated into the plan is the consistency, dedication, and patience is going to require to have these changes realized. Yes, you've completed the first step, putting plan on paper. Then it's the follow through, the approach. How are you going to accept when something gets you off your track? Are you going to bounce back or allow that one thing to bring you on a downward spiral that sets you back even further? These are all things that should be calculated. It's a war when creating change. There will be resistance. Accept this responsibility and get on with your path.
Oh man, that fucking sucked. That was beautiful. That's so cute.
What's on your mind, big guy?
Looking down, man. It's useless. Man, you know, why look down? Why? Everything that we do in life is in front of us, right? Like, you go for a run, why are you looking down? Look up, even if you're on the treadmill. It's not going nowhere. What's under your feet, it's not ever gonna move. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna move your body and continue going down your warpath, your journey, whatever else. There's no need to look down. So what if you stumble? So what if you trip over a little whatever? Get back up, keep going. In jiu-jitsu, posture's everything, right? When you're in somebody's full guard, you're not gonna look down because that's where your body's gonna go. If you're riding a bicycle, if you look down, that's where your body's gonna go. It's the same thing in life. If you look down, if you walk and your eyes are down, and you're not looking in front of you, you're gonna miss opportunities. You're gonna miss it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's good to be situational aware of everything around you, especially, what's in front of your feet, but if you're looking ahead, you already know what's coming. If you're so focused on what is immediately in front of your feet, you're gonna miss that opportunity that's coming right up ahead. You're not gonna be ready for it, It really hit me yesterday. I was out for a run and Lucius was riding his bicycle and he got caught up looking at something that was right here in front of him and he almost, fell over. Luckily he caught his balance and I told him, I was like, why are you looking down? There's nothing for you down there. Nothing that is worthwhile or worth chasing is ever gonna be at the bottom of our feet. It's always gonna be ahead of us, right? Like the mountain that you're gonna climb, the obstacle that you're gonna get over, like it's not a destination, it's just a journey. One foot in front of the other, just keep moving forward by any means necessary. Jiu-jitsu, it's real, it's like that. Wrestling, it's real like that. When you shoot in, you're not looking down, you're gonna get fucking your head stuffed, But it's applicable in martial arts, it's applicable in life. My man.
Another one, episode 4 of the Primal Warrior podcast.
Yeah.
We just finished getting a dope workout in. We got some. We did some core landmine clean and jerks with some strict overhead press for strength work.
Bro, we straight up killed that workout, and you straight up almost killed Quentin.
Oh damn! I wonder if Quentin could put that in the video, just so people could see how he almost died before trying to film some shit. But
Quentin's like a combat photographer in this room because I almost killed him with the landmine. You almost killed him with the barbell, man.
But we in the trenches. That's what we do. We just in the face of danger. What's up, danger? We just looking it right in the face.
Bro, he for real looked it right in the face. I ain't gonna lie. For real.
Man, what's up with you? What's going on? How's everything?
John, everything's good, man. Blessed beyond measure continues to be the anthem and will remain the anthem. But so we was just talking about do we self-sabotage, right? Like at some level when we're either have ideas or about to chase something, right? Do we get in our own way or do we allow things that normally wouldn't get in our way to just completely throw us off and like destroy that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I from my experience, I know for sure that's part of like this whole thing is self-sabotage and that battle. You know, once you make the decision and you start, you know, heading towards the direction of your dreams and whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, there's no doubt that you're gonna face resistance in that path, you know. And
there's truth in that.
yeah,
There's so much truth in that, because like the moment you start to want better or want to do better, it's like everything, anything around you that was a part of that old life or that, you know, unproductive or whatever the case is, whatever it was that you wanted to change, anybody that was with you or anything that was with you rocking with that, all of a sudden it's like, why you think you better than us now? Like, why are you trying to leave? Like, just, you know, sit back down. Like, where do you think you're going?
right.
You know, and then trying to get out of that.
That's one of the hardest things for me personally, like how to navigate that. Like, you know, as you start elevating, you know, you gotta make tough decisions, you know, and you gotta like be blunt about it. And, you know, sometimes you even gotta cut some people off. And, you know, that could be the toughest thing, you know. It might even come in the form of like the closest ones to you, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you can't just keep going in the cycle of dysfunction, right? Especially if you want better, if you want to create something that's everlasting.
But even more than that, right? Like, I feel like at some point, whatever's internal, right, that we're trying to change, or like internally we want something better, we want to pursue this goal, this dream, whatever have you. That piece of you that is so comfortable where you are is going to be that voice, that little voice that's in the back of your head that like, why do you really want to do that? Like, look how much work that's going to be. Like, we're good right here. Like, we don't even need to do that, you know? Like, and it's that voice plus all the other voices from everybody around you and everything around you that you're already so comfortable with doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense?
100%. Like, environment, you know, even if you used to break, you know, we just breaking up the words over here, you know, but like, environment, you know, it's like, you know, they say like you're a product of your environment, you know, whatever you saw growing up or what brought you up. But environment could also be your environment, like your environment. So it's like whatever's in eventually becomes what's without, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not right within, there's no way
it's gonna show.
Yeah, that it's just a mirror, man. We just, it's reflections everywhere. So it's like
kind of like if you're doing good, then good will come back to you, kind of deal. Like, is that
eventually, it's not gonna happen right away. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always like, again, it's the, you know, once you start making changes, it's like everything starts to like, everything in the kitchen sink starts to come back at you, trying to, you know, bring you back to your old ways. But then you fight through it, you know, and then eventually you know, it's that little win. You get a little win. And it's like, it's a wrap from there. It's like, shit, like I just got this little win, like I could do this. You know, it's just self validation. Like,
do you think that first little win is what we're chasing after in the beginning, or are we chasing after the long term?
I think people in general, because I only say people in general, I only speak like this is because I myself experienced. It's just my opinion and what I've experienced. I noticed that whenever there's a little victory, I had to catch myself and do the inner work to be like, that's something to be celebrated, because we might overlook those we have our picture on this big grandiose picture. You know, we want this, you know, finish line car or whatever, or this dream house, but we don't see like the step to get there, like whether it's fixing your credit or like a little, you know, or like, you know,
saving money,
not like those are little wins.
Going out and eating.
Yeah, telling a friend, I'm not going to the bar, I'm gonna save those $80 and put it in the bank in a savings account. That's a little victory, and you might not celebrate that because it's like the fun is right in our face. You know what I'm saying? So you want
the immediate versus the long term.
Yeah, that instant gratification that we want. You know, and we live in that society. We live in that microwave society. You know, everything is microwave. They want it like this, right now, right now.
Damn.
You know. It's like microwave. Everything is microwave. There's no process. There's no even intention. You know what I'm saying? Like, it even comes back
to
ready
to eat.
Yeah, like it even comes back to that conversation we had about the water, remember?
Oh yeah.
It's like that with food, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, imagine somebody like gives you attitude because you like, how much longer for my food? And he's like, the fuck this person come, and he's making your food with like this bad energy and shit, and then you just take that all in instead of somebody like, let's say as your mom, she's like trying to nourish you. She's like, I'm gonna make my son, and she's like making it with so much passion and love. You gonna take that in that way. It's like an energy-driven universe. You know what I'm saying? So it's
like if the waiter or the cook pisses you off, and now you're sitting there eating, still pissed off, like you're not gonna enjoy that meal.
Even at a molecular level, your digestion system is not gonna process it as it would on the other side of the spectrum.
Because the energy's off.
Yeah, it's just everything gets thrown off by the energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can't. You know, somebody comes at you with some negativity and shit like that. It's almost hard to like have the boundaries and the walls to deflect it. You know, it's only when you do the work. You know what I'm saying? And
so then, let's dial it back, right? So like, how when we take that first step, right, to start pursuing something, are we free of like self-sabotage? Like,
nah, I do it to this day, man. Like sometimes. You know, like sometimes in the weekend I might eat something I'm not supposed to. Those are little losses on the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and especially it's the hardest when you got kids. You know what I'm saying? Because they be leaving their food. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to dump the food. Out. You know what I'm saying? So like, fuck. Let me get this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't want to do this, but now I'm going to.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, and kids like snacks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, shit is in the pantry that's not supposed. You know what I'm saying? Like little shit like that. You know, like.
Bro, when I get bored, Denise will tell you. So for everybody watching, Denise is the household six, right? she's the woman that makes everything happen in our house now. She's my wife. I love her. Shout out to Denise, right? But she'll tell you when I get bored, or like if I'm not doing anything and I just want to sit down and bullshit. First thing I'm doing is walking into the kitchen and I just start opening shit. Like I'll open the pantry, like nah, ain't nothing in there. What was that? Open the fridge.
Start looking through the cabinets and
shit. For real. Then I'll go to like the little kitchen table that we have in the corner, and I'll be like, those chips. Yeah, that's perfect. That's not too bad, bro. Half a bag later, I'll be like. Fuck, I done fucked up. Yeah. But then I'm so committed to it, I'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna finish this bag.
I did this shit already, like might as well jump right in, you know what I'm saying?
Then I get Lucia sitting there like, can I have one? I'm like, no, you can't have one, this is bad
for you. Bro, it be like that sometimes, you know? So it's like all these little battles, you know, so like, imagine like being able to conquer those little battles. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the hardest part, man, because like sometimes when you're facing those battles, you don't even realize you're facing a battle. You're going with the path of least resistance without even realizing it, right? Like, so what I started doing recently is anytime I start to feel like my hands wanting to reach for that pantry or whatever else, I'm like, nah, let me just go get some fruit. Because if at least I'm gonna snack on something, I'm gonna try and snack on something that's healthy.
Yeah.
Does it happen every single time? Absolutely not. Because there's a lot of work involved in trying to go get some fruit out of my fridge. When you have kids, your fridge is full of everything.
Yeah.
So like to get to the fruit, I gotta move shit out of the way, I gotta do this. So of course, sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to be bothered with that. Let me just get that bag of chips right there.
Yeah. So it's like these little, bro, it's like 90% of it. Like for us personally, this is easy. Like pain, like putting myself through these, I might be a masochist. I think. Like I enjoy pain or some shit.
I think that at any level, anybody that's pursuing greatness, or is like really actively involved in what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish, is a masochist.
Yeah.
Because the path of least resistance is so pain-free that. You know, you don't have to go and choose the hard route. You could just sit there and do nothing all day long. Or play video games, binge watch TV for fucking 12 hours. You could do that, but you're not gonna get nothing out of it, right?
I did that shit yesterday, actually. I watched.
You binge watched 12 hours?
Not 12 hours, like 5 episodes. I did. I watched Raising Cain, and I don't know.
Oh shit! Shout out to 50.
Yeah.
Shout out to 50.
Nah, cause Joy Badass is in that one too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's pretty good. He does a good job in that one, but yeah, I got nothing out of it. Like, you know, it was not very productive at all. But it comes back to our topic, like, do we have these? But guess what? It's Monday, right? And you know, just to the day I die, I'm gonna be falling off the horse. But to the day I die, I'm gonna be jumping back on the horse. You know what I'm saying? That's the key. Like, I'm gonna fall off, I'm gonna slip, but I'm gonna get back on that shit. The minute I dust them shoulders off,
sometimes you
know
won't dust your shoulders off as you get back up, right? Like as you continue, like you'll get up and keep moving, and then as you're moving forward, you're like, okay, let me fix myself, but I'm still gonna keep moving forward.
And what I notice is each time, I'm riding the horse a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, and I fall off. It takes me a little bit less time to get back on.
What people don't realize is like, so I feel like the first question that a lot of people ask me is, how do you get up so early, right? Like, anybody here at the school anyway, they're like, how do you get up that early? Like, what time do you go to bed? And I'm like, 11:30, 12. They're like, what? You're what? But what they don't realize is, like, there's so many times where, like, I'll miss it, right? But I'm, like, the amount of times that I miss getting up at 4:30 is far less than the amount of times that I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, each time, like you're saying, like, you stay on the horse a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Each time that I fuck up, it's like that much longer before I fuck up again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The hardest thing, honestly, is once you fall off a schedule or fall out of habit, or you fuck up, it's really, really easy to continue that. It's so much harder to be like, fuck, I gotta course correct immediately and fix this, right? Like, so even if you wake up late, right? Do whatever the fuck you were gonna do anyway. You're gonna be late throughout the day, but at least you're course correcting and you're fucking back on track immediately, right? Because the longer you let it go, the harder it is to bring it back. Does that make sense?
100%. And that's so key, bro. And this conversation is so important, right? Because, we might have influence in the sense of like motivating people, to whether it is to work out or train. They might look at your post getting up early. They might want to do that. And they might think like it's a perfect route and that we're not falling. Like, man, like
falling every day, dude.
Every day we fall and every day is little bad.
But like, here's the other piece of that. So 2 things before I forget. One, I hate the words motivation and well, I don't hate. I really don't see the point in motivation or try, right? Like those 2 words, I feel like they're just like recycled, regurgitated shit that people think are
it's diluted.
Exactly. Like the word try, right? When you really look at the word try, right? And I feel like Yoda fucking tried to put us on when we were young and we just didn't fucking listen, right? But, I can't remember exactly how Yoda says it. But he basically says something like, do it or don't. There's no such thing as try, right? So when we think about that, it's absolutely right. Like when someone says like, oh, you know what? Let me try that, or let me try doing that, or yeah, I'm gonna try that, right?
Yeah.
What are you saying? You're already going into it with the intention of like, you're not gonna finish this through. You're gonna half-ass it. You're not gonna really try to grow out of it. You're just trying to go through the motions. And sometimes that's needed, right? Sometimes you just need to go through the motions to get back into it, right?
Yeah.
But there's really no such thing as trying anything. Like, just fucking do it or don't. And if you're not gonna do it, then cool, move on, right?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Not everybody's path is gonna be the same, right? Mm-hmm. And that leads into motivation. Motivation might be what you need to actually get started, right? But that's not the end all be all, right? Discipline, consistency, dedication, sacrifice, all those things are going to be what get you all the way to the finish line.
Yeah.
Motivation is going to die somewhere in like the first leg of the race, right? Like there's going to be that one morning where you don't want to fucking get up, or you come home and you're super tired and you don't want to go train and you don't want to do this. But it's those days that you have to. Yeah. If you push yourself to go through it, even if you're just going through the motions, you've already done more than what you would have if you had just like, nah, fuck it, I'm not motivated today. Why do you have to feel like doing something to do it? Just fucking do it anyway. It needs to get done.
Can I ask you something? like your habits of getting up early, do you attribute that to your military experience, like being on regiment, being on schedule, just that wiring, which I think is so important, if you ask me?
Honestly, yes and no. I say yes because before the Army, it was really, really hard for me to want to get up out of bed, right? Because of the environment, mostly because of like my mentality and where I was at in life, right? Like I'm not trying to blame or cast like, oh, my environment, oh, woe is me, right? Like none of that. But the mindset that I was in is way different than where I'm at now, right? Like I didn't want to have to get up and deal with the bullshit that I was gonna have to go deal with every single moment of the day, from the moment I left the house to the moment I came back, right? Like it was just, I didn't enjoy it, right? So for me to get out of bed, to go take the bus, take the train, go all the way to the city, go to school, go to work, go to my next job, and then come home, or whatever, right? Yeah. And now it's like 10 something at night by the time I'm getting home in my senior year, right? And I have no desire in doing any fucking homework, right? I have no desire in fucking doing, I want to bullshit a little bit. I want to fucking have fun. I want to be able to, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think it's important when you're younger to have those moments where you're a kid, right? Or where you're a teenager, or where you're a young adult, right? But I really, really despise the whole like shit, man. Like I had to grow up faster than what I feel like I needed to, right? And then the Army kind of put me on track of like, hey, we wake up early, we put in some work, and then we get our day started, right? Like, that was the first time ever in my life that I think I ever worked out in the mornings, right? Like I never really worked out at all. I always played sports, but I never really worked out. So then in the Army, just working out and all this, but still, on days that we didn't have to go to formation or like we didn't have anything going on, I was like, fuck that, I'm sleeping. You know, but it wasn't honestly until I would say until Denise was pregnant with Lucius, that I really started to get like that long-term goal of like, man, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I need to get my shit together, because not for me, but for my son. Like, what am I doing to lead him by example? What am I doing to try and be the man that I want him to be? And I want him to be better than me. So like, I'm trying to set the bar like this so that he could be up here. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like each day is a constant battle of like, okay, how do I get better, right? I don't know if I was just ranting or rambling.
No, 100%. It's just to show people that you also had a process to get to where you at this very moment. And again, it's like, man, it's just you can't be afraid to get on this little tit for tat at times. When you really want something that bad, you're gonna do it for 2 days, you're gonna fall off. You're gonna do it for a couple more days, then you're gonna fall off again. And then next week you might try it again. You might do it for another 4, and every time you just get a little bit better. It's like jiu-jitsu, man. Like every single rep counts. Every single rep gets you closer, right? Like every single one. Like, are you going to get that fucking hip bump triangle like right away? Probably not, right? Like at least not in a live roll, but you're gonna just keep going, keep repping it out, repping it out, that arm bar, whatever else, right? And then what was the other shit I was gonna say? Like we had the motivation and try, right? Fuck, I lost it. No, that's good. I think we pretty much summed that conversation up. Where we at right now? We're about
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So that was episode 4 of the Primal Warrior podcast. We, like I said, we're doing this every week now. We've been at it for 4 weeks straight. We're gonna bring you some more dope workouts and some dope conversations down the line. So stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. Jaime.